All right, what up, my fantasy people? We're a couple minutes early today, so when you jump in, hopefully you didn't miss much because we got Jason Baum on an emergency airport run, as you can hear his awesome audio behind him. We got Brian Cade here; he's got a call, so we are going to make this action-packed week 14, last week of the regular season, and get it all in as we can. So there's no more trades, so let's just start to questions. So hit us with everything you got. Brian, what up? Love that hoodie.
Thank you. It's nice and warm. It got cold here.
I know. Yeah, we got snow. So Jason's gonna be in and out. So Jason, let's just let you just roll with it while you can. What up? How's everything going?
Oh, everything's great, man. I'm headed to Dallas. It's freezing right now in Portland too. It was like 30 degrees this morning. Was not ready for that. After a week and a half in California, which was very nice, and we didn't have any 30-degree weather at all. So, but now right back out and heading to somewhere where it's a little warmer.
Must be nice. I'm north of the wall, and it's snowy, and nobody goes outside anymore. It's also dark. Jason, your poor Niners, right? CMC had just that run up the middle in the snow, like 40 yards. Looked like he was back. He was going to score. The Niners were back, and then shoestring tackle. I think it looked like his calf exploded, and it's been all downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, his first couple carries Sunday night were, looked like vintage CMC for sure and looked great. I wouldn't say the Niners were back, though. I mean, you got to remember they were still missing everybody on defense, and we still had to try and stop Josh Allen, which, good luck. That's hard to do even when you have your full defense healthy. It's a lot harder to do when you're missing your top pass rusher and your star corners banged up and your star linebacker, your best defensive player has broken ankle.
This isn't the poor sad Niners show. We're just talking fantasy. So we got CMC, and then you also lost Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I didn't even know he got hurt until I found out the next day in Shanahan's presser. So, both guys went on IR. I think Mason was short-term IR, but with 5 games left in the season, you could basically, end his year as well. So obviously Isaac Guerrero was the hot name. I haven't seen a hot name like that to claim on the waiver wire since what was his name? Jalen Parmalee back in the day, like a few years ago. Yeah,
Brian, do you know who that is?
I do not.
He was running back for the Jaguars a few years back. I forget which one got hurt, but every fantasy analyst said, pick this guy up, and he did nothing. Thankfully, I did not pick that guy up.
What do you know? What do you know about Guerrero?
Guerrero was the Niners' 4th round pick out of Louisville this year. He was starting to come on really strong towards around the time CMC came back. If you can remember in week 6 against Seattle, he broke that 76-yard run where he basically went down to end the game, and he has breakaway speed. Like the guy's legit. He's obviously not McCaffrey, but if he's got the football IQ enough, he could do a lot both in the run and pass game.
Okay, nice.
He has that ability. However, the Niners did also pick up Izzy Abanikanda from the Jets.
I was going to ask, tell me. Everyone loves him.
Everybody loved him last year. He was a Hard Knocks darling, and he got a little bit of run here and there, when it came to Breece Hall, but then obviously got phased out because of Braylon Allen, and Braylon Allen's a stud. So Abanikanda became very expendable, and he's now with the Niners. He's one of those guys. Never hurts to pick up. Everybody blew their wad on Guerrero. Abanikanda can play. He's a smaller back. He can feel like one of those guys who could really fit the Shanahan system a little bit.
So you're saying if you didn't win the sweepstake at Izzy, go get second place in beauty contest, right? It could end up working.
My Abanikanda don't.
Okay, so what's his name again for anyone listening who doesn't?
Izzy Abanikanda. Abanikanda.
Okay, nice. I picked him up in late. So let's just kill rapid fire. It just seems like it's Brian's favorite part of the season. It's backup running back season. Right. We got Breece Hall. Looks like he hurt his knee in the bye. Then he hurt it again Sunday. They lost. He's not practicing. Do you know anything?
I have not seen anything. Oh, sorry, Brad.
I was going to say I don't. I just did one league. I have Breece Hall in. I also have Braylon Allen, so I'm almost hoping that they just call Hall out because I think it'd be better off for fantasy if Hall was just ruled out and then you have Allen.
I got Braylon Allen in my big money league. Breece didn't practice yesterday, not practicing today. So anyone out there, Braylon Allen's on the wire. We're talking league swinger, fantasy title. Like this could be the Braylon Allen season. Not only is he dope, he's free, And with all these running backs on buys and hurt, I mean, people are straight from the bottom of the barrel. What other injuries we got? Oh, go ahead, Jason.
I would say Braylon Allen is stashed in every single league that I'm in, so I had zero chance to get him. And trust me, I looked. And, yeah, it's tough. As a Brees Hall owner in one, the one I need to win, that is brutal.
A lot of people play a lot of 10, 12-team leagues, so he probably didn't make the bench in a lot of those. What other injuries we got?
All 12s. There were definitely some throughout the league. I mean, Trevor Lawrence placed on IR. That was a brutal hit. Obviously has a concussion, but it makes sense for the Jaguars to shut him down anyway. I mean, the team's not going anywhere. Their season's over. Now you start that new 5-year extension. You just shut him down. Get him ready for next year, whether it be with Doug Peterson or not. But you look out for the health of that guy, first and foremost.
So Mac Jones played pretty well, right? So how does it really affect Brian Thomas Jr. and Evan Ingram and the sneaky Parker Washington, who's had 100 yards?
I mean, Parker Washington, that was one game, something to keep an eye on, but I'm not, rushing to go after him just yet. If you look at, his numbers throughout the year, I mean, they're not entirely there, but you never know. It could be another, Cedric Tillman type case. And speaking of which, he's still injured. Definitely thought, the extra few days from the Steelers game and the Monday night game would bring him back. Not yet. I have not seen any word on him practicing or whatnot, but also, Jameis, our king, found Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore a lot on Monday night.
Okay, what else? Anything else? Anything else we're missing? I'm trying to run through my divisions here. The Giants, I think they're going Drew Lock again.
Yeah, I mean, DeVito's still dealing with the forearm, but, no fantasy value there. Taysom Hill, speaking of that game, done for the year, torn ACL. That was, a tough one. He was actually having a pretty good season. Like, he was at least playable every week. He had that 1 week a couple weeks ago where he went absolutely nuclear. He went for like 37.5 points or something like that. He hasn't had many of those games. He has, the sparing double-figure point performance, and he has that one just insane one where everybody rushes to get him. But he was playable every single week, so that's a big loss. I don't really trust the values of Jawan Johnson or Foster Moreau at this point.
I actually disagree with that. I love me some Jawan Johnson. I think, who have they been passing the ball to? It's been your running backs and your tight ends.
And
even with Taysom Hill in, Jawan Johnson and Foster Moreau have gotten over 10% target shares past 2 weeks. I just think this is kind of who they pass it to, and then they throw it to, this was last week. MVS is just basically you take your deep shot and hope it hits. He was 9%. 3 tight ends or running back as your top 4 target getters for the Saints offense. I just think that's something to look into. I love Jawan Johnson this week. I picked him up. I'm playing him over a few backups. I mean, I think he's a really solid play at the tight end position. I think I have.
Okay, let's play the game. We got tonight, Jawan Johnson or Sam Laporta?
I mean, no, I'm not. I have him at tight end 10. So I think if you're in a 12-team league, he's startable.
Yeah, Sam Laporta sucks.
Yeah, but this is a over under a 52. So you're gonna play your.
So Tucker Kraft or Jawan Johnson?
I have right over, or never mind. Actually, Tucker, the over under updated, so I have now Tucker Kraft slightly over Jawan Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, again, it's just that over under is kind of carrying everybody in that.
That makes sense. I think probably I kind of like the under. Jason, we only got you for so long. So what else you got for us?
That was really it. I think from the injury side, there wasn't a ton of injuries last week, but they were significant. Is the big deal? Is again, McCaffrey torn PCL, done for the year. It's going to cost him at least 6 weeks. Good news is he doesn't need surgery, but at this point, you're looking at McCaffrey 2025 and where he ends up from a fantasy value standpoint.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's the last week before fantasy playoffs. We can't play tomorrow's game.
Exactly.
Tomorrow. What's the Bond movie? Tomorrow May Never Die. Tomorrow Never Dies. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So what about Trent Williams? Is he going to be back? I saw the record splits with him. It's appalling.
I would say it really is. I mean, just to show you how valuable he is at this point, I really don't know. It sounds like, he's barely been able to even walk. And then on top of that, he has the personal matter going on. Prayers up to Trent and his family as well for it. So at this point, it wouldn't shock me to not see him for a while.
Okay. Jay, well, we'll get you one more thing, and then we'll just let you go. You got airport, you got no video, you got a board, you got a lot going on. What do you like? You got any props for me?
Yeah, so this week I saw Jordan Love over 225 passing yards. Saw that, and David
Adjusted.
Montgomery. Yeah, adjusted. I'm not sure the exact odds of that. Also like Amon-Ra St. Brown 5+ catches. I feel like he's gonna have a big night. Lions obviously need the game, not only to maintain some space in the division, but maintain space for that number 1 seed, because somebody's football team is chasing them down right on their heels.
Brian doesn't want to talk about it. We will talk about it though. If anything, we'll try and jinx it. Okay, and then what do you like fantasy wise? How are you in the SportsEthos league? Are you in playoffs?
I have a win and in situation.
Win and in.
Big money
Nice.
league, which isn't great considering I have Breece Hall. I'm a little worried about that. And the guy I'm going against has Jahmyr Gibbs, who I would definitely start this week. So go D-Mont, but Gibbs will have a good game.
What are the tough start sits you got?
I don't really have any issues with that. I mean, my team, I have a few guys on bye. I have 2 tight ends on bye, so I had to scoop one up off the waiver wire. I picked up. Luckily, Pat Fryermuth was there, so I picked him up last week. I may have to sit Breece Hall now, which stinks. I have Tyler Algier, and I might just honestly pick up Izzy and just start him.
Who? The other Niners back?
Yeah, I did pick up Sincere McCormick though.
Nice.
From the Raiders against the Bucs. That actually might be the play.
Yeah. But he got back to the practice squad. They're waiting to see if their other 2 bum running backs are going to play. But I mean, that was the only good running game they've had all year. You got lightning in a barrel.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I have that, but if worse comes to worse, just pick up Izzy and be okay, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Brian, Jason, we're gonna let you go. There's just too much going on. Thank you though for jumping in. All right. That was just too much chaos for you. All right, Brian, what's going on here? What about you? What are your tough start sits?
I have 3 leagues, and of my 4 leagues, 3 of them I'm win and I'm in. The last one I'm just fighting for a bye. So I'm doing pretty well this season. Because of the bye weeks, I don't have too many start sits. I know in our league, I'm waiting to see if Keon Coleman is healthy, and then I need 4 wide receivers out of Trey Tucker, Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and Devonta Smith. So do I want to start 2 Bills and just hope I get somebody kind of higher my floor? But we'll see. Trey Tucker's kind of been doing okay. He's had a few big plays, which is helpful, and I'm now out CMC in that league for good. So I would be very happy just making the playoffs in that league after losing him. I'm trying to think. The other league I had, I'm pretty set, I think, just because of all the bye weeks. I have Zay Flowers out in a bunch of my leagues.
Yeah.
One of the tight end decisions I had was Calcaterra or Juwan Johnson, just because Dallas Goedert's out.
Yeah.
So I think I would probably start Calcaterra over Freiermuth, just because they're playing the Carolina. They're going to run the ball a good amount, which means a lot of 2 tight end sets. So I just think he'll be on the field a lot.
Okay, so let's quickly talk about that game, right? We got Philly. I know you don't want to talk about it. They're playing the best football in the league right now. Both ends running it. Jalen Hurts barely to do anything. Defense is doing everything. Carolina, they've just given, they give KC a run for their money. They're playing sneaky, right? Just lost to Tampa in OT. Do you think Carolina can hang, or do you think it's just Saquon 150 yards at half?
I mean, I think it's kind of like all or nothing. I either think it's going to be a very close game or just like a complete blowout. I think because of the running game, I don't the teams they've played haven't really had the best running games of it. I mean, no one's really the Eagles when it comes to running the football.
Well, Tampa, Bucky just ran for 150, and then KC, KC can run it, right? I think they didn't have Pacheco, but yeah, Carolina is terrible against running backs. But it's got to be kind of a letdown game too, right? Eagles just had that Ravens game. You're playing Carolina. It's hard to get up for it.
Yeah, but I do think like their coaching has just been so much better this year. I don't know if they're really going to have the letdown game.
Yeah, Brian. Yes, this is what we want.
Smith is back, which kind of scared me just because their whole offense has kind of been throw it deep to A.J. Brown and run it with Saquon Barkley, and that's it. Like Jalen Hurts really hasn't been that great. He gets me 18 to 22 points each week, which is fine. Like I know for a fact I'm starting him every week. It's a good feeling, and I know he's not going to really disappoint me, but he hasn't really won me any weeks.
True.
I do like Devonta Smith. I just feel like they finally have him back. He's off the injury report, like not even questionable for the game. Especially if they find a mismatch, I do think they could just kind of utilize him. Like Sirianni in the past is kind of, not to say given players an opportunity to kind of get off the schneid, like just haven't been playing too well or been hurt. He's given them an opportunity to kind of have a boom week and let other people kind of take a back seat. I think that could be the case here. Almost use Brown as just a decoy and then just underneath to Smith and Calcaterra a lot.
Yeah,
I like that option.
It's a tough game because it's like I feel like there's so many fantasy points up for grabs, but like they only seem they're going to go in one or two directions, right? It's not like you're going to have a bunch of guys get 10. Barkley's going to get 35, or AJ's going to get 25, or Hurts that was going to rush for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I got lucky with having Hurts and Saquon, so like I pretty much get every point there.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not bummed out about it, but I mean I can't. If you're in a really deep league, and yeah, like I just think like I think there's probably a 75% chance Saquon doesn't play the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he's got 150 rushing yards a half, they're up 21-3, getting a pick 6. It's 30-10 going into the fourth. Why would you play him?
Yeah, like I don't see the point.
But so let's say Kenny Gainwell over what backup running backs? Like over Algier, Charbonnet, Antonio Gibson.
I mean, to play this week, I would do him over like probably all of them except for Gibson. Gibson's kind of been getting more play recently.
Okay.
Just to play this week, I don't know if I'd have him over. Like Charbonnet has proven he can just be like the most boring of boring backs, but get you 10 to 15 points as a starter if Walker goes down.
Sure. Yeah. 10 to 15. Yeah, if Walker's down. Okay, that's enough of this Eagles game. Tried to put you in a trap. You almost fell for it. You stuck a foot in. But let's go. Anybody watching you on Twitter, come over to YouTube, drop us a question. This is the last week of the regular season, all right? This is it. People are getting eliminated. I might get eliminated. Brian might get eliminated. It is sad. It's the most exciting time of the year, but also kind of the saddest. It's like Christmas. It's nice to get your presents, but you might get coal. Okay, so we got Mr. Magic says, yo, Darnold, Stafford, or Caleb, full PPR. So one piece at a time, right? So we got Darnold, Minnesota's playing Atlanta, so that's a nice matchup. Stafford playing Buffalo, that's kind of a nice matchup. And then Caleb, who's Chicago playing?
Let me pull that up. San Francisco.
So matchup wise, which one do you like the most?
Slightly Caleb, I think, just because that 49ers team has kind of just been banged up, and I feel like Atlanta actually played really well last week. Like their defense did.
Yeah.
Normally it's been their defense has kind of been having them fall apart, but I forget how many they only gave up, like 20. I forget how many points they gave up, but like Kirk had 4 interceptions. Remember, it wasn't that, I don't know the exact number, but like it wasn't that much. Plus they gave up 4 interceptions. So I just think like they were getting to the quarterback more. I actually picked up the Atlanta defense in a few of my leagues that I need to stream.
Wow, Jesus.
Because they played really well last week, and I needed somebody for this week because like everyone I kind of was hoping I'd be in the playoffs, and I didn't really have too many streamers for this week that were good plays, so they're kind of a long shot for me. But I do like Caleb Williams. I think he's been doing better, and I think that new coach is like it's like the first game after their coach gets fired. That's normally a lot higher of why can't I think of the word like attitude or
confidence,
motivation for the team.
Yeah.
Just to show, hey, our coach sucked. Let me show how great we actually are. And I just think that's a prime opportunity.
Okay. And then Caleb, you get the rushing floor too, right? He's been running the ball great.
Yeah, way better.
Right. Okay. So Caleb. So yeah, Stafford. I'll never be able to quit Stafford, even though like Kupp is now a tier 3 wide receiver. Darnold's been great. Justin Jefferson can't score. It's pretty close. I think Caleb. Is Chicago at home?
That I don't have in there.
Bears, no, on the road. I don't like
Which
that.
is probably better because I don't want to play in Chicago and the winter.
That's true. Okay. So we're gonna say Caleb. All right. Second part of the question, we got JSN, DK, or Jacoby if he plays. Is Jacoby banged up? I didn't see that.
I think he was, but at this point in the year, I'm also not sure if it's like, hey, we're out of it. This is our almost way of tanking, but keeping veterans healthy.
Yeah, I think he's gonna play. Let's just assume he's playing. JSN's been outplaying DK, but DK DK's getting the volume, right? JSN only had 4 targets last week. But do you like Jacoby more than any of those?
I like Jacoby a good amount this week. I have him higher than both, actually.
Chris says he just hit the injury report with a DNP today, but that's not really that important. A lot of guys are sitting this time of year. If you miss 2 practices back to back or you don't get one in the week, we got to worry about it. But it's probably just a normal rest day. I'm not too worried about it. I assume he's going to play.
Yeah, if he plays and if if he has a full practice by the end of the week, I think I'm going Myers over both of them, just because he either one of them I think could go off, and Jackson Smith and Jinko in JSN or DK. I think they both have higher ceilings, but I feel like you're kind of flipping a coin there. I have JSN slightly higher just in PPR. I have DK higher in half point. So take with that as you will. But I do like Jacoby as just a high floor. He's been getting almost 30% target rates. It's like Bowers gets 40, he gets 30, and the rest is like a target to everyone else on the team.
And they just played KC. It was an elite defense. Now they're playing Tampa. So it's like, right, if Aiden O'Connell is legit, a good QB, if he's a solid QB, top 18 even, that just makes Jacoby be a legit wide receiver 1. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, Jacoby over DK.
I didn't, but I almost streamed O'Connell just because that Tampa defense looks good. I ended up finding a better streamer to pick up, in Will Levis, but I was debating him when I was desperate because forget who, Anthony Richardson, the one league I was starting him. I just needed somebody.
So Tyler Sperry's doing our work for us. Myers missed practice, but practiced in full yesterday, right? Yes. So he practiced full yesterday, took today off.
That's a veteran's day off, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's keep moving. What questions are piling up here? So we said Caleb and Jacoby, right?
Yep.
I like that. I'm gonna go. Nice QB depth though. Darnold, Stafford, Caleb. I feel like I'd just be making the wrong decision every week.
It's also funny, looking back at the beginning of the year, I never would have thought to say JSN over DK or Jacoby over DK and JSN. So it's just, this is kind of silly season.
Yeah, but also we didn't know Devontae would get traded,
Yeah.
Oh, right. So Saints D or Titans D? I can't imagine a world in which I'm taking the Saints D.
They're playing Giants, I think, though. So that could be the world.
I'm still not doing it. Run funnel. All you got to do is give it to Tyrone Tracy. They got no one to stop Nate. It's just I guess they kind of held the Rams in check last week, but man, Saints D's bad, right? Titans D didn't show up versus Washington, but they've been pretty good all season.
It's you're playing Jacksonville or you're playing Giants. So both teams, at least when I checked earlier in the week, are projected to give up 18 points. So even that is pretty much dead even. I think I would take the slight lean to Tennessee just because I'd like their defensive line a little bit better, and a sack is the point. So I'm slightly leaning that way, but it's kind of a coin flip to me.
I don't. I mean, Saints T, you're playing in New York. I'd rather, if I'm taking the defense, I want to be at home. Mac Jones on the road. That just sounds kind of tasty to me. I know he just played well last week, but can he do it again? Titans, should have a little something to prove. I think that's easy one for me. Titans D. But I might not even like if it was Saints D or nobody. I might not play defense. They could get negative points.
They'll give me 3 points, but I hear you.
I know.
Okay,
Okay,
now that you say that more, Jacksonville's O-line is pretty shoddy, so that's another thing to think about. Like in these types of matchups, I think like who can get me the most sacks. Interceptions are kind of random. I mean, yeah, unless you're playing Jameis, you're going to get 3, but like they're random. So I do like the sacks play.
Okay. All right. So Mason says Monty, Gibbs, or Robinson. Is this like a touchdown play? Red alert. I don't understand. You got to help me. Like it's Bijan. So your running backs are so stacked. So it's like you have Barkley, and then you're trying to figure out the other one. But let's just Monty or Gibbs, right? I mean, Lions kind of love to do. They go Monty for a series, and they go Gibbs. Gibbs has that fumble, and he showed the plays with that like Snapchat or something. Do you either one move the needle, or for you are they kind of dead heat?
I mean, in general, I just like Gibbs. He's been more efficient with his touches.
Sure.
To be honest, I didn't even think about the Snapchat thing, but like if there's any coach that will be a bit more of a hard ass, I think it's Dan Campbell. So
I'm more worried with the fumble inside the 5.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to pick one, I think I'm going Bijan in general.
Yeah, obviously we're doing Bijan, but it's also Minnesota, right? We're doing matchup. Minnesota rush D is crazy.
Bijan, yeah, just the targets, I think. But
yeah.
I'm still probably just going Gibbs and Bijan. I don't want to have either. Like I'd much rather have Monty on my bench than Gibbs or one of the other two. So if I need to pick 2, I'm going them.
Yeah, I think it might just be one. So, but I guess Bijan, because Packers rush D has been great, right? They held CMC at 39. They held DeAndre Swift, right? So you can't really run on them right now. We know Detroit kind of will, but that's a tough one. If Atlanta's playing anyone other than Minnesota, it's easy Bijan, right? But just matchup at least makes it tough. And I can't imagine a team where you have Monty and Gibbs and you're not starting either of them.
Yeah, it's probably an 8-team league.
Yeah. All right, Kenzie Ignacio. Okay, sick picture. I like that. All right, Cousins or Levis. I was listening to a pod. They said Cousins didn't reach over like 36.5 miles per hour on any of his throws. That's not actually possible, right?
I don't know what that means, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I know. But just think if you're throwing a baseball, even semi-hard, it's going 40, 50, like just like a lob, right? So I think the stat was wrong. But either way, I don't think he's got his fastball. He threw all those picks, right? Is he kind of breaking down, wearing down? This is kind of tough, right? Or actually, is it? The Jags are so bad.
I mean, I think it's floor plays Cousins.
Yeah.
Just like if I want to feel safe about it, if I need an upside play, if I really need like a big week, I'm going Levis.
Yeah, it's tough because you don't want to overreact to 1 week, but then it's like we know Cousins isn't mobile, and then we know Flores is going to throw the whole kitchen sink at him, right? So I'm probably going Levis at home. Jags defense sucks. Levis has been pretty competent. Let's quickly. What about this Nick Westbrook-Akine? As no one talked about him all season. Now they're talking about him. He scored like 7 in the last 8 games. I had no idea until I checked the game logs.
Oh yeah, I do the blurbs for them because normally I just
don't
feel like writing more, so I just always pick Tennessee, and my quote is now like his touchdown streak continues. Like, that's all he does. His target share is not even that good, for being honest. Like last week it was pretty good, but like previously it hasn't been the best. He just scores. Like I'm
okay with that. I like scoring.
I just don't like on the year. He has a 10% target share.
I think it's gone up lately, though.
It has, yeah. Like last week he was the leader, but like he has 20 catches on the season, 8 of them are touchdowns. Like that's just not going to keep up.
Okay, but 7 touchdowns in 8 games. You gonna bet he doesn't score this week?
If there was, yes. If there was a under 0.5, I would do it.
Okay, you're crazy. But so Cousins or Levis, so Brian said floor, you want Cousins, ceiling Levis, but I'm just saying Levis. They might bench Cousins, right? There's a potential chance he throws 2 picks early. It's Penix time.
Maybe I do just think against Jacksonville, like Tennessee technically does have a higher over like projected point total, but I just think they're going to run the ball. Like Tony Pollard, I think is a huge play this week against Jacksonville. So
yep.
I think it could be more of a run heavy approach. And then Atlanta probably playing from behind as long as Kirk doesn't throw 4 picks. I just think he'll get 300 yards.
300.
Even if it's 300 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks, like that still might be better than 200, 1 touchdown and nothing. Like,
yeah, but you didn't watch the Atlanta Chargers game last week, then.
I did not.
He had no.
But, I heard it was ugly.
It just everything was slow motion. It looked like Keanu Reeves in The Replacements. It just, they're just going to be gunning on him, especially if he's under pressure. If he can't get his full drop, get the throws off, it's all arm. I'm worried. I'd be going out of my way not to start Cousins this week.
He's had ugly weeks like throughout his career, and he's bounced back. Like,
true, it's true.
This is just Kirk, in my opinion.
And what if Justin Jefferson has 180 yards and 2 touchdowns and just does all the work for him?
Or Drake London, yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
And the other, yeah. Jefferson on the other. I mean, same thing, but yeah, like, or you just have a dump off to Bijan that goes for 70. Like,
exactly.
He has so many weapons. Maybe Kyle Pitts might actually show his face and do something.
That'd be crazy. All right. Well, I'm saying hard Levis. Brian's saying measured Levis. Maybe Cousins. So sorry, we couldn't be more helpful. Sorry. Thoughts on Auden possibly without Evans? Oh my God, Mike Evans? What happened to Mike Evans?
I didn't see that. I would double check if that's like a maintenance day for Evans.
Yeah.
Auden's been doing well. I think even if Evans plays, I have him pretty high in the rankings.
I would assume so.
He's number 12. So I think Cade Otton's a fine starting tight end this week.
Well, yeah. If Evans doesn't play, Cade's I think a top 5 tight end. We saw what happened during the season. He was getting 70 yards, touchdowns. He's over the middle. He's getting hyper targeted. I mean, it's like who wouldn't you start over Otton if Evans doesn't play? But I think Evans looked great. I think I haven't seen anything other than maybe just maintenance because you missed like 5 games with a hammy.
Yeah, he's old. Like this is the time of the year where you're going to see somebody sit out Wednesday, maybe limited Thursday, then full on Friday. Like I feel like you see that a lot this time of the year.
Yeah, but
if Evans is downgraded, I think Otton's top 5. Probably not playing him over Bowers, Jonnu, Trey McBride, or Kelsey. I would debate it over Kittle and Njoku, Hawkins, and Laporta. Like I think he'd kind of be in that range.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So, but this is it. This is week 14. This is freak out to the injury report day, right?
It is.
I can't tell you how many times I've Googled Breece Hall injury or in my Twitter, just looking for updates, reading comments. Like it's a waste of time. But man,
I'm so happy that like I don't care just because I have Braylon. Like the one league I have Breece. I'm just like honestly, I'd be happier if he was out because I know Braylon will go off, but. It is comforting, which is again why I say every week get your backup running backs, especially when you have kind of a pretty set lineup. You have a set lineup, you have 2 flex people on your bench, like start getting some backups.
Was this CMC PTSD?
Yeah, yeah. But I tend to have this like strategy all the time is take some shotgun approach at the beginning of the year. If I find out I'm a good team, which normally I can maneuver my way to winning. Sometimes it's luck, like with CMC out, but like if you can get to the playoffs, then like especially if you're a team with a bye in the playoffs, just start. If you know you're not going to play somebody and it's not like a defense you're stashing, just pick up like the 2-star running, like the backups of the 2-star running backs that like you might play. Those teams just pick up their backups.
It's brilliant.
Just in case they get hurt, you pretty much guarantee a win because you get their backup and they don't have a player.
There's that meme where it's like an idea and then it's like the fourth idea is like the galaxy brain, everything's exploding.
Yeah.
Right? That's what somebody picked up Jordan Mason before the Sunday night game, and CMC goes down and is like, it looked amazing. What a move. Then he gets hurt. So it's like the guy who picked up Garendo, and then the galaxy brain would be like picking up the fourth guy, the guy Jason was talking about. I picked him up too, but I mean, it's just crazy. It's fantasy football. We know this every year. It's going to come down to some guy no one's ever heard of because somebody was smart enough to, preparing to fail, failure to prepare, whatever one of those mottos is.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that. So Shadow is wicked. Okay, that's freaky. Pick 2, 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Thanks. Okay, so we got Marvin Harrison Jr., Westbrook Akini, we talked about, Rashad White, Travis Etienne. 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. I guess we got to go Marvin Harrison Jr., right?
Yeah, I'm going him and ETN.
Oh, you're going Etienne? Really?
He's the lead there. He's taking it back. They're probably going to be down. You get a few dump offs. Like Bigsby went off like for 1 week, and then I feel like hasn't been doing too much. So,
but Etienne hasn't done anything all season.
Why do I feel like last week he did something?
I don't know. He was RB 36, RB 35, RB 40, RB 47. Like the only thing you can be sure of is Etienne's going to suck. I mean, Rashad White's only got 1 grab in each of the last 2 games. He's getting faced out for Bucky. You got to go Westbrook Akini. You got to. He's a touchdown machine. The streak continues.
I mean, yeah. Like if you're going upside play, yeah, just stick him and hope for the best. It's got to stop at some point. Maybe this is the week. Maybe it's not. It's a bet. Like you're just taking a 40% bet that it hits again.
Well, if it's ever going to hit, it's going to hit against the Jags, right? So like I'm Marvin Harrison Jr., Westbrook Akini, and it's not really that close for me.
Full transparency, I have Etienne on none of my teams, so I haven't experienced his suck.
Yeah.
But like just looking at the numbers, they're not like terrible on the season.
What numbers aren't terrible?
He had a 52% rush share and almost 10% target share last week. Like,
okay,
anyone who's like above 50 and a 10% target share, I'm just kind of like, it's a pretty safe start for me.
That's fair.
So that's my mindset. I think he's a floor play. I don't think he's a ceiling. If you really just need big weeks, I think the 2 wide receivers are kind of who you want to go with. Yeah,
the floor play, the ceiling, but he lives in a basement. So
yeah.
Okay. So that's that one's tough. ATN, I can't. He's just been too gross. I used to like him though. So Kenneth Walker didn't practice, second Wednesday, 2 days in a row. So Walker's a guy, I just did a write-up for him. He has not run the ball well last 2 weeks. They have used him in the passing game, which has been really, beneficial for him. But like we talk about running backs breaking down at this point of the year. Kenneth Walker is Exhibit A.
He still had 70% rush share. Like he's still involved. Yeah, he's been slower, and I don't trust that he's like around this time of the year, I just think it's a bunch of maintenance days. So until I know it's not a maintenance day, I'm not going to go crazy. Yeah, if I have Kenneth and I see Charbonnet on the wire, by all means, pick him up, pick up your backup running backs, but I'm not going crazy over it. Like,
okay. Yeah, because he was RB 15 the 2 weeks before, so he had a bad week. He's trending down, but I mean, yeah, you're not starting Charbonnet. This isn't like if Walker's out, you start Charbonnet, but we're not doing like a Charbonnet start, to creep into Walker or.
Yeah, that's too risky to start Charbonnet without him, like without knowing Walker's out.
I agree. Okay. So that wasn't really a question, just some info though. But yeah, we like it though. Thank you, Tyler Sperry. Thank you. He's giving us lots of info. Okay, Ray Gamer says Baker Mayfield versus Raiders, Sam Darnold versus Falcons, 6 points per TD. Who's got the worst defense?
I'm pulling it up. I mean, Baker's been a top 5 option this year. Like, I'm going there.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe if Mike Evans is actually out, I would slightly maneuver, but like Baker's still been pretty fine without Evans. You
also hate Sam Darnold.
What?
You hate Sam Darnold.
I do. I think Minnesota's coaches are great. Like the coaching that they've done, I think this year is like, I think he should be coach of the year. I just think like he's been killing it. I forget the guy's name, but their coach, I think, has just been killing it. He's always had a good offense, no matter who's the QB. Like Nick Mullins would come in and go 302. Like he's just a good coach. I don't like Darnold, but like they'll put up numbers. I just trust Baker more, and I think he's proven it more.
Okay, yeah. Then you said the Falcons D might be playing a little bit better. So Baker, yeah, it's Baker. He got a little banged up last week. He came back. He threw a pick right away, but then he ended up playing really well. He was mostly handing it to Bucky. I was watching that game. But the thing is, Baker was running it so well earlier in the year. You were getting some TDs and a lot of rush yards. If he's banged up, he might not be running. He's just throwing. It's a lot relying on Mike Evans. So, it's pretty tough. But I mean, Baker's just been elite all season. You got to roll with it. But Darnold's playing really well too, so it's tough. It's tough. I don't think you can go wrong either way. But so maybe you just wait and see, make sure Mike Evans is playing. But close edge, slight edge Baker. Okay. Jeffrey Mills, Saints or Tennessee defense? How could we have the same question twice from two people? Either way, we said it was heavily Tennessee defense. Brian is not as heavy, but Tennessee defense all the way. Saints defense, you're almost never starting. We already covered this. Myers missed practice, but practice full yesterday, so Jacoby should be full go. Mr. Magic, going back to that question, I forgot to mention I have Puka. Okay, Mr. Magic, this was because he's talking Puka with the Stafford stack. That does make it a little bit more interesting. Because let's talk Rams. Let's talk Rams quickly before we Puka is the wide receiver one now, right? He's still going downfield. Cooper's just doing kind of digs and like little mini wheel routes, quick outs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think their target shares are still pretty similar-ish. Like they've kind of gone back and forth. They're both like above 25, so I think they both are still kind of the majority of the passing offense. Puka has the higher value. Cooper Cubs are like, I swear every time I watch the Rams, it's like a Cooper Cup 4-yard out.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
If it's 3rd and 3, I know Cooper Cup's going to have a 4-yard out and he's going to catch it, and that's fine. Like Puka is the better fantasy wide receiver
by far. Yeah. Although in red zone, Cooper's still getting the TDs.
Yeah, I wouldn't say by far, but I mean he's the better asset this year when he plays.
Yeah. So, but does that make you, if you have Puka, does that make you lean more for the Stafford stack instead of going Caleb?
I still think Caleb's just a better play.
Okay, Caleb. Yep, I agree. I don't mind. Yep, but love a good stack. But okay, Jesus, Jose Avalos, rank my team. I don't understand. Rank it. Okay, but okay, we'll give it a rank. We got Sam Darnold, QB. That's okay, I guess. We got him late. Josh Jacobs, Bucky Irving. Well, that's pretty nice. So we got there's some studs coming up, I guess. CeeDee Lamb, Ladd McConkey. Okay, Lamb kind of sucks. He's banged up and kind of a coward. Ladd also banged up, had a great game. You got Njoku at tight end. Where are the studs? It seems like it's all like he went Lamb first, and then who was the second round pick?
He probably went Jacobs and Moore, which Jacobs has been fine, not a hit, not a boom, not a bust.
He's been great. It's like one of his best fantasy seasons. He's 70 yards every game, touchdown. He had his first receiving touchdown, most receiving yards last week. I don't like him this week. DJ Moore, Shakir, Njoku. I mean, I like your team, but it feels like you lost like your second and third round picks to season-ending injury.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think he's going to win it all. I can be proven wrong, but
yeah,
you're hoping for Bucky to just continue going off, and maybe it happens, but I think that's kind of the hope.
So we'd have to know if it is 14-team, 12-team. If it's 16-team, it's great. I mean, it looks like you did a lot with a little, because I love all the players, the value. Like Ladd's amazing. Like Njoku's been great. DJ Moore's now waking up. Bucky's insane.
Shakir was a good pickup.
Yeah, it seems like you drafted well, but you missed. There's second and third round pick missing, and you kind of missed on Lamb. So it's kind of the bad news bears, but I think they win in the end. His bench, he's got a Dunze, Juwan Jennings, nice. Thielen was good. Westbrook Akine. If I need changes, please let me know. So are we starting any of these guys? He's all wide receiver. So I guess we got to start 2 wide receiver. Ooh. No. If Ladd plays, he's kind of banged up. You have to play him, and you have to play.
I mean, I like Juwan over. I like Juwan.
You love your Juwan.
I think he's the best receiver on that team, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's keep going here though.
I got
How
one
much
more.
longer you got, Brian? How much longer you got for me?
I'll do this and I got to hop off.
Okay. Last question for Ray Gamer, and then it's me solo. He's just deal with me. Start 2 in standard non-PPR. Start 2. Cooper Cup, Jacoby Myers, Lad McConkey, or Garrett Wilson. Oh, all right, Brian, take it away.
I hate standard.
What?
Oh, that's ugly. I'm going to go Cooper. I mean, okay, Jacoby Myers over the Bucks. No, I'm not starting Garrett. Like, I'm not starting Myers over Wilson, Cup. McConkey scares me just because of the injury. Maybe he's a decoy. And the Chiefs have a pretty solid defense, so they could just kind of take him out of the passing game. Like,
True.
if I could take Lad McConkey out and just have Will Disley be the best option, like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So I like Cooper against the Bills. I just think I like Rams. I just like in higher scoring games. In worst case, like I remember watching the Eagles Rams game where they were down a good amount. It's like before they kind of took everyone out, they just again Cooper Cup like 4 or 5 yard outs in a row. Like, yeah, it's only 20 points in this league, but like maybe that's for a touchdown. Or not 20, it's only 20 yards, which is 2 points, but like.
But if it's just standard, you want you need big, your
You need
explosive is what you want. Yeah, or big plays, right?
Yeah, so I mean, if it's standard, then I'm either looking at I'm probably just looking at the touchdown betting.
Okay, that's fair. Cup's still touchdown elite. Yeah, he's still the guy in the red zone. But who else? So you're going Cup and who?
I would go Cup and Garrett.
Cup and Garrett. Okay, nice. Yeah, Dolphins have been pretty good against the pass, but it's Brees Hall's out. You usually know they won't pound it. I don't know. It's tough. Okay, so you're out.
Yes, sir.
What do you love this week? Or tonight? Give me tonight. Give me 10 seconds.
Tonight I just like the under. I think big NFC number. North battle. It's a big number and it went up. I just feel like I like the under in this. It's the Lions offense has slowed a little bit. Like they were going 50-50 and they're slowly more in like high 20s. So I just think they're kind of slowing down. Both teams really need this. So I just think it could be a kind of a back and forth battle, but not touchdowns wise. Like
yards, no points.
Yeah, like a 27-20 game, it hits the under.
Okay. All right, Brian. See you maybe Sunday. Thanks.
Adios. Yep.
You can leave on your own.
I am leaving.
All right, solo pod. Let's go. I will go on for 15 more minutes. Handle your questions. I'm not really sure how to do this because I'm just talking to myself. So let's just try it out. So here, standard is a lot different, right? So catches don't matter. 5 yard outs don't matter. So we want explosives. I mean, Lad's banged up. You got to go with him. I still like Garrett Wilson, but the Jacoby Myers matchup, the Bucks can't stop anyone. I mean, maybe I'm doing Myers and Ladd and not playing Cooper and Wilson, who are the elite guys. I mean, that's just tough. I don't know. I'd have to go back and think about this. This is tough. I got to make sure. So let's say Ladd doesn't play, then maybe you go Cup and Jacoby. I mean, bench Wilson. That seems crazy, but he wasn't great. Man, that's tough. Sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. All right, Jeffrey Miles, half-point PPR, need one running back, one flex. Garando, Tracy, Pacheco, Marvin Harrison Jr. So one running back. So Garando, Tracy, Pacheco. I mean, that Tracy matchup is just so nice. The Saints are terrible against the run. Pacheco still kind of working his way back. Nice matchup too. And then Garendo's the mystery box. I know Tracy lost some snaps to Singletary, but half-point PPR. I'm going to go Tracy. Honestly, the Saints are just terrible defending the run. Kyron Williams just had the best game of the season. It was only 104 yards, but he was running 7 yards ago. And then so flex, Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore. I mean, Moore just had that great Thanksgiving game, 100 yards. Marvin Harrison's more of a 60-yard guy, the way Caleb's throwing. Tyrone Tracy, DJ Moore probably. But maybe I'd sneak Garendo in there, but he's just magic beans. Depends what you need. Half-point PPR. Man, it's tough. I'm going to go Tracy Moore, but maybe you want to just sneak Garendo in there because he is explosive, right? So that's a good team. A lot of choices, a lot of tough ones. But yeah, Pacheco, I want to see it first. And Harrison, just so disappointing. You don't want to play him unless you have another better option. Chris says, need more depth, running back depth, Jose. Jose, running back depth. You've got Jacobs, Bucky, and then it's all wide receivers on the bench. He is 100% right, especially in 2 wide receiver. You really don't need that many. Another league, Jeffrey. Okay, yeah, you post on the Discord. I'll get to that too once I think about it a little more. Another league, half point PPR. Need 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. JSN, McConkey, Juwan Jennings, DJ Moore, Garando, Kenneth Walker. I've got Charbonnet in case Walker's out. Okay. Half point PPR, need 2 wide receivers. I mean, we're playing McConkey till the wheels fall off. Even if as long as he can walk, he is Herbert's favorite target. I think it's pretty similar. I mean, JSN. I love DJ Moore. I'm a big DJ Moore. I mean, Caleb's feeding him. Keenan Allen looked a little banged up in that Thursday game too, even though he scored, I think, twice. So I'm going, I think, McConkey, DJ Moore again. JSN only got 4 targets. Jennings, I mean, Brock, we just don't really know with that team. Plus, there's so many options. He got Garendo everywhere. That's great. That'll pay off probably next week. But, let's see it, right? He's looked good. He's still the 3rd running back for a reason. They don't have Trent Williams, San Fran might be toast. So it's tough. And I just don't like Walker. I don't like the way he's trending. Don't like the way he's running. This game's in Arizona, I believe. Battle lines don't travel. So I don't like that. Okay. All right. So Jay Stacks is 10-3. Nice. Congratulations. 12-man PPR. Running rec depleted. Start 2. It is depleted. Wow. Kareem Hunt, Kamani Vidal, Tyjae Spears, Cam Akers, or pick up Corum, Patrick Taylor, or Travis Homer, considering Roshan and Swift is practicing. I assume DeAndre's going to play. Roshan probably isn't, but that is smart thinking. Kamani Vidal's jumping out at me right away because Gus Edwards did not look explosive, didn't get that much work. They didn't really run the ball as much, so that kind of jumps out at me. Hunt, I don't really want to be playing. I guess hopefully you're going for a bye or first place. Spears only had 1 rush. Corum I like because they looked like they were going to give him more rushes after Kyron Williams kept fumbling. So I'm going to go Vidal for sure. Akers is also getting some carries. Nice, decent matchup. But, man, what do we want here, right? We want ceiling. I mean, Hunt's going to get probably the catches. Aaron Jones is banked up. Man, this is tough, my man. This is tough. So I'm going Vidal and then maybe probably Corum, Akers, Hunt, Spears. I think Corum will get more touches. You can run on Buffalo. He's pretty explosive. Akers I like because I think Jones is banged up. He just had 5 rushes last week. That was gross. But I think Minnesota's still going to probably throw. I mean, Cam Akers isn't explosive. So Kamani Vidal and Corum are my answers there. But it is ugly. It is very ugly. All right. So Tyler Sperry, Clarence things that Evan didn't practice 2 days in a row. Okay, that is something to worry about, but it is Mike Evans. He is old, coming off a major injury. He doesn't really need to practice. I think Baker wasn't practicing either, so what's the point? But let's say, you said if he wasn't seen practice Wednesday or Thursday, I would say it's mildly concerning, but not really that concerning. Mike Evans is pretty tough. He's still full go. Meant day in a row with a Walker question. Sorry, I'm confused too. But yeah, it's that time of season. I know it's scary when guys aren't practicing, but they don't care about the fantasy playoffs, sadly. In full PPR, would you flex Jaden? Oh, here's a question. Would you flex Jaden Reed, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, or Grando? So everyone loves Jaden Reed this week, but he's got 3 weeks in a row under 30 yards. But this is a better matchup. Lions playing man. He's bad versus man. Christian Watson and Wicks are really good versus man. Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen. What am I doing here? Keenan Allen looked banged up, even though he had that great move for a touchdown. Cooper's still not getting the usage. So I'm kind of Jaden Reed, Isaac Garendo. That's tough. I like Thursday night action. I like receivers versus the Lions D because they're a pass funnel, but Reed's just not getting anything. Oh man, I'm probably going Garendo. Wow. I'm going Garendo. Yeah, final answer, Garendo, but I understand full PPR. I understand if you want to go Jaden Reed, but I mean, 3 weeks in a row under 30 yards. I don't like betting against the streak. Keenan Allen looks nice too, but I think he looked banged up and he does get the extra rest. It's tough. Tough. So Keenan Allen, so I go Garendo, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed, Cooper in that order. Okay. Tyler Sperry, Walker did practice Wednesday, Thursday. What is it? A mentee? A mentee week? I don't know what that means. Menstruation, maybe. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Walker's banged up. It's that time of year. Running backs are banged up. It's been a long season. So I would be avoiding Walker this week if I could. I'm not a big Walker guy this week. I don't like running backs. With bad O-lines who are banged up, especially if there's a good backup. Okay, BJ, so what's good, fellas? It's just solo fella here. Jerry Jeudy or Daddle PPR? I mean, in what world could you bench Jerry Jeudy after that? 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. But it would be because it would be Dallas. Daddle just had his best game of his life running, but Bengals are also a terrible defense. Doubt also maybe they found something. Also, Lamb's banged up. They lean on the run. I mean, I like that full PPR. Daddle's not involved in the passing game though. So I mean, I just I know usually wide receiver goes off, then the team will kind of lean to defend him better. But Cedric Tillman's still not practicing from that concussion, so he might miss again. So you just got to play Jeudy. You got to ride it. Jameis ride Jeudy. Just till the wheels fall off. Okay, Jesus, I got more questions. I got to catch up here. Oh, Avala said 10 team, so 10 team. Okay, I like your team last. It was 10 team. I just don't know what happened in your draft. So you did a great job around the margins, but Bo Nix, Brian Robinson on bye. I had to put Bo Nix. Okay, yeah, like margins were great. Brian Robinson's a stud, but you would have got him late. Bo Nix you got for free. So I just think you're going to be going up against the monsters, like some teams starting Lamar Jackson and Barkley, and that's just going to be hard. But I love the team, not so much for a 10 team though. Suleiman Aslam, do I start Jordan Love or Sam Darnold? I'm a big Love guy today. I just talked about it's a pass funnel. He's going to throw it on the road to game script. They're 3.5-point underdogs. I know Romeo Dobbs is out, but next man up, right? I like Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson today. Josh Jacobs just had his best receiving game of his career-ish, essentially, last week. I think he had like 70 yards. So I'm big Love guy today. But Sam Darnold's been really consistent too, 252 touchdowns. But I think Love can beat that, right? But also Darnold, you always have the possibility Justin Jefferson just blows up and goes off. Right? Atlanta, don't really trust that secondary. Either way, that game's going to be indoors. So, it's a nice Darnold game, but I'm going Jordan Love all day just because I like everything about this game for Love. I think he's going to have his breakout from he's after his groin injury. Played the Niners, he didn't have to do anything. He played the Dolphins, cold weather, he looked good. And even though they were up big, they kind of got to put into second gear. So full Love experience tonight. Okay, how much more time I got? I got a few more minutes. Stephen Greaves, are you starting Josh Jacobs? I love this. This is for a PPR league in one of the 2 flex spots. Other options are McConkey, Najee Harris, Juwan Jennings, Rico Dowdle. I don't know what you do because you rode Josh Jacobs all year. He's been awesome all year, right? He's been awesome lately. He also crushed the Lions a few weeks ago when I didn't think he would, but we're talking short week. We're talking on the road. We're talking Lions D. If I can not start Jacobs tonight, I am. And you have the option to not start him, right? You've got McConkey, not like Najee. I thought Najee was breaking down, but he just had a great game. Daddle's got him so yes, I am benching Jacobs for one of these PPR league. I don't think I could bench Lad McConkey the way he's playing, right? Herbert's elite. I know the Chiefs are pretty good taking away wide receiver 1, so that would scare me. Jennings, I just don't really want any part of San Fran right now until they can have a get right game. Najee makes a lot of sense, although I did think he was breaking down. You can run on Cleveland, so Steelers at home. So I'm definitely doing Najee over Jacobs. I'm probably doing Ladd over Jacobs. I mean, I'm doing Dowdle. I mean, since his defense is apocalyptic. So yes, I am benching Josh Jacobs. Okay. Bryce, good evening. Good evening. What up, my man? Okay, we're at an hour. I only got a few more minutes, but I will get to every question. Jalen Reed or Khalil Shakir, PPR. I mean, we're probably not going to have the snow game this time, so I like Shakir. I mean, it depends what's going on with Keon Coleman. Amari Cooper hasn't been fully involved yet. What's also happening with the tight end? His name's evading me right now. I've been talking too long. So a lot of that depends. So, man, everyone's on Jaden Reed tonight. His props are moving up. His yards have moved up. I do not like betting on receivers who have had 3 bad games in a row, even though he scored 2 touchdowns last week. I'm probably going to go Shakir. I kind of like that Rams game, high scoring. They can't stop anyone. I'm a little worried. Maybe they just run it down their throat. I'm not worried that with Green Bay, which leans toward Reed, but PPR. I like having juice in the game. The way they also the gadget plays with Reed. I'm probably leaning Shakir. It's tough because you want to know what's happening with Keon Coleman or Dalton Kincaid. But you got to make the decision now. So if I got to make that decision now, it's also, you don't want to mess around. It's week 14. I'm going to go Shakir. Yeah, Shakir, PPR, boom, done. Final answer. Jaden Reed or Calvin Ridley? Okay, a lot of Jaden Reed questions. Everybody's on the clock. I mean, I just can't imagine a world in which you bench Calvin Ridley right now. They're playing Jacksonville. I mean, that's just one of the best teams you can play against. I mean, he's getting all the targets. Will Levis might not be any good, but I mean, if Jaden Reed's ceiling, Jaden Reed's ceiling is pretty high, let's be honest. But I mean, this is easy. Ridley all day, Tennessee at home. Jags defense sucks, secondary sucks. I mean, West Virginia's getting touchdowns, but his targets aren't high. They got no one else to throw to. They might run it a lot, but still, I mean, I think Ridley's floor is Reed's ceiling almost, no, something like that. But no, yeah, easy money. Okay. Bryce says Ingram or Laporta. Laporta, again, another 2 touchdowns, but he had, 3 yards? He could have a decent game tonight, but I don't love him. Ingram, I mean, I like Evan Ingram. Mac Jones, bad QBs like to target tight ends. Laporta, I mean, yeah, it's tough because Goff is just so much better than Mac Jones if we're just breaking it down like that. But, I mean, Parker Washington, I saw he's a little banged up. He's on the injury report. He could be a fluke. Brian Thomas, we know, is going to probably get the work. Man, I'm going to go Ingram, although, to be honest, let's just do a quick game log. I don't really have time for this, but let's just see Evan Ingram. What has he done? All right. Oh, yeah, he's still getting targets. 9 targets, 7 targets, 8 targets. Okay, Evan Ingram all day. Mac Jones sucks, but targets are king. I'm sure Brian would agree with me. I mean, Laporta's just touchdown or bust. You got to go Ingram. I mean, I don't think Laporta's going to get 2 again, but he might get 1. And they got too many weapons. I love Laporta preseason, but if James Williams gets hurt, then I think Laporta's the moon. All right, Juan Dier. I got a couple more minutes left. So Jaden Reed. Oh my God, I've never seen so many Jaden Reed questions. I feel like I'm all going to be off him the whole time, and he's going to go off. Sorry if that happens. Knock on wood. Jaden Reed, Calvin Ridley, or Rico at the flex. So we just said Ridley over Reed. That's easy money. So let's say Ridley, Rico. If it's PPR, we're definitely leaning Ridley. If let's say it's standard, maybe not so much. I like Dowdle. I bet him last week. He went off, but everyone goes off versus the Giants. Ridley, you got Calvin Ridley for this game. Jacksonville, sure, you hope Will Levis be better, but he's hyper targeting him. I mean, I'd play Calvin Ridley over way too many players this week. Half point PPR projected to win by 15. That's always helpful, but I mean that makes it a little projected to win by 15. You can kind of go floor, right? Rico's probably going to run him. He's probably 15 rushes, but will he get 80? Will he get 100? Will he score? He hadn't really scored much all season, plus not in the passing game. That makes it a little closer, I guess, because 15, but I still like Ridley. Ridley's got a great floor. I mean, he could go invisible. There's that chance where he maybe gets 4 targets, catches one of them, and does nothing. But Ridley, Rico, Reed for me. I think I've made Jaden Reed go off. Start Tracy Jr. or Garendo. I mean, This is a nice question. Grendo is on everybody's wish list, but like, come on. I mean, if the Niners don't have Trent Williams, right? They're not that good. They might not be running the ball. How well can he catch? Does he know all the plays? Is he caught up on the protections? I mean, the other Izzy guy they might play. They might split carries. There's just so many questions with this guy. You can't. He's like the ultimate waiver wire guy. He's great to have, but I'd want to see it first. So I like Tracy. I mean, Tracy Jr. The Saints. I mean, I guarantee he's going to break a big one. I'll knock on wood, right? If he gets 15 carries, I think he only had 9 last week. If he gets 15, he's going to probably get 100 yards. He's going to score. This is why you have Tracy Jr., right? It's like Ridley. You have Ridley for these games against Jacksonville. You have Tracy Jr. for this game against the Saints. So you pretty much just got to play matchup. There's almost, it's just the best possible scenario, right? Grando's still magic beans. I don't, who knows? Okay, guys, I got to wrap up. Mega brick, but I will keep going. Must win week, isn't it? It's for everyone. 12-man full PPR, Goff or Purdy. Let's see. I mean, man, the Niners look so bad, but usually when that happens, you get the bounce back. But they're playing the Bears. The Bears pass D is pretty good. That leans more towards running, which is Garendo, which I just said, but he's still magic beans. I mean, Goff. I mean, Packers rush D's been really good. Goff at home is a must start. I always say Goff 250, 2 touchdowns. The floor is the ceiling, but he could go 350. He could go off. I think Amon-Ra, big game. Jameson Williams, big game. I think the running game might be a little bit muted. So Jared Goff at home, you start. So that's just easy money for me. And then we got full PPR, start Jennings or Judy. Okay, thank God. No more Jaden Reed questions. I don't want to lead you guys astray. I mean, it's easy money again, too. It's just Judy. I mean, guy goes 230, you start him the next week. I know John Jennings had the 3 touchdown 180. I think I said the same thing, and I think he maybe got hurt or didn't have a good game the next week, but you don't want to get too cute. I mean, wouldn't you be more upset if you started Judy and if you bench Judy and he went off again and you're like, you overthought it? So just don't overthink it. Go Judy. Again, Chicago's pass D is really good. They still got Debo, also the rookie, Ricky Pearsall, who's good. Kittle, right? We know at least there's a lot of options. Judy, Cedric Tillman, still banged up. If Tillman plays, maybe we can reassess it again, but I don't think he's going to. So Judy all day. Okay, guys, I got to wrap up. I like this solo pod, but I just feel like I talk the whole time. My brain doesn't get to think. But yeah, tonight's game, if you read my preview, my big bet is both QBs 1.5 touchdowns. It's about parlayed. It's like 167. I like that. I also like Christian Watson. His yards at around 50. I like him on Raw 68.5. I don't like the running backs. I don't like short weeks. Short week running backs are terrifying. That's why I was a little down on Jacobs, a little down on Montgomery, a little down on Gibbs. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go. No, I'm not going to talk 10 more seconds because I'll just stroke out. Jeffrey says, "You the man, the way to handle." Thank you. Solo pod's fun. I need some sort of break at some point to just collect my thoughts. Otherwise, stream of consciousness. But okay, guys. So I won't be able to get to the Discord today before the game. Unfortunately, I got to go play rugby. But I will Sunday, and then we got our Sunday show. So anything we didn't get to, plus there'll be some more developments during the week. So come back Sunday, 10:30 Eastern time, and we can reassess, answer the same questions, talk the same football, because it is a must-win week. This is it. All right. Thank you, guys. Cheers.